On March 14th, satellite trackers detected something moving at high speed through the South China Sea. Not a carrier, not a destroyer, an amphibious assault ship, USS Tripoli LHA-7. The ship most defense analysts had written off as a failed experiment. On her flight deck, up to 20 F-35B stealth fighters. Inner hull, 2,500 Marines. Destination, Hormuz. Here is why that is strange. 60 Iranian warships sit on the bottom of the Gulf. The missile factories that arm the strait are rubble. Drone production lines are silent. 2 carrier strike groups hold the perimeter from opposite ends of the region. Lincoln commands the Arabian Sea. Ford locks down the Red Sea. From the outside, the siege looks complete. But Hormuz is still closed. More than 150 tankers sit anchored outside the strait, hemorrhaging costs while they wait. Brent crude holds above $100 a barrel because the market prices certainty. And right now, certainty does not exist. The remaining 10% of Iran's capability, mines seated across the seabed, mobile launchers buried in mountain tunnels, fast attack craft staged in coastal coves, is enough to deny a 6 nautical mile shipping corridor. You do not need to sink a convoy to close a strait. You need to sink one tanker, one burning hull in that corridor, and no insurer on earth will write the next policy. The strait does not close by force. It closes by fear. And fear only needs one example. The most powerful navy in human history solved 90% of the problem, but escort requires 100, and the distance between 90 and 100 is a supertanker on fire. So why is the Pentagon sending the ship most analysts dismissed to solve the problem 2 supercarriers could not? What can 2,500 Marines do that 50,000 sailors cannot? The answer starts with a decision that nearly got the ship canceled. When the Navy designed the America class, they made one choice that drew fire from Congress, Marine generals, and defense analysts alike. They removed the well deck. The well deck is the ballast-flooded chamber at the bottom of every amphibious ship since World War II. It is how you launch hovercraft, how you deploy landing craft. Designing an amphibious ship without one is like engineering a cargo truck and forgetting the bed. Congress mandated it be restored on the 3rd hull. The first 2, America and Tripoli, were written off as failed experiments. But the Navy understood something the critics did not. The space unlocked a doubled hangar bay, expanded aviation maintenance, a surgical hospital, and jet fuel storage previous designs could never accommodate. Tripoli did not lose the ability to put Marines ashore. It changed how, from the sea surface to the air, and in return it gained something no other amphibious ship possesses: the ability to operate 20 F-35B stealth fighters simultaneously. That is nearly half the air wing of a $13 billion supercarrier on a ship that cost $3.5 billion. The ship they called a mistake turned out to be the most dangerous pocket carrier afloat. Now here is why that mistake is exactly right for Hormuz. Lincoln and Ford operate in the open ocean outside the Persian Gulf. Too valuable to risk inside the bathtub Iran spent 40 years turning into a kill box. That means no persistent air cover inside the strait. A jet launched from Lincoln at 500 nautical miles burns over an hour just reaching the shipping lanes. Time on station is measured in minutes before the jet turns back for fuel. That gap between takeoff and presence is where Iranian drones find tankers. Tripoli solves this with physics. At 44,000 tons and $3.5 billion, she is expendable enough in the Pentagon's risk calculus to operate close to Hormuz. Run the math. An F-35B launched from Lincoln at 500 nautical miles spends over an hour in transit each way, and only 40 minutes on patrol, so gaps are measured in hours. The same jet operating from Tripoli at 100 nautical miles spends 13 minutes each way. Time on station triples. The gap between patrols shrinks to minutes. Those minutes are the difference between an Iranian Mohajer-6 drone finding a tanker or an F-35B finding the drone first. Tripoli solves the sky, But the strait has three dimensions, and two of them are still Iran's. Three fortified islands sit directly inside the shipping corridor. Abu Musa, Greater Tunb, Lesser Tunb, seized by Iran in 1971. Fortified with anti-ship missile batteries, coastal radar, artillery, and Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps garrisons. Unsinkable aircraft carriers fixed at point-blank range to the shipping lanes. Even after Epic Fury's air campaign, any surviving capability on those islands threatens every vessel transiting the corridor. This is the scenario Tripoli was built for. And this is where removing the well deck becomes an advantage, not a liability. A conventional amphibious ship would push landing craft through mined water to reach those islands. Tripoli does not. Its Marines insert by vertical envelopment. MV-22 Ospreys and CH-53 helicopters. They fly over the minefields instead of sailing through them. Strike teams neutralize missile launchers and radar installations, then withdraw before the garrison mounts a counter. No permanent occupation, just a position that no longer shoots at tankers. The precedent exists. Operation Praying Mantis in 1988. Marines destroyed Iranian oil platforms in the Persian Gulf in a single day. The 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit trains for exactly this. That unit just completed Exercise Iron Fist 26 in February, practicing island seizure and rapid amphibious assault. But raids solve islands. The strait is also 6 nautical miles of open water no warship can safely enter. So the larger question becomes this: how do you control a corridor without putting a ship inside it? The Marine Corps calls it Expeditionary Advanced Base Operations. It is the central idea behind Force Design 2030. It is the most radical restructuring of the Marines since World War II. It has never been tested in combat. Hormuz may be the first. Marines fly ashore to small islands, uninhabited coastline, or allied territory in Oman or the United Arab Emirates. They establish temporary bases with HIMARS launchers, radar arrays, and forward arming points where F-35B jets can land, rearm, and relaunch without returning to the ship. HIMARS firing at 162 nautical miles can engage any fast attack craft or mine laying vessel entering the corridor. That is anti-ship firepower from shore. Meanwhile, Marines protect the mine countermeasure ships already operating in the area. Mine clearance still takes weeks, but Tripoli accelerates the timeline by protecting the sweepers rather than waiting for sweeping to finish. You no longer need warships inside the strait to control it. Now look at it from Tehran's side. For 40 years, Iran only prepared to counter threats from the sea, ships on the horizon. Iran mastered that equation: mines below the waterline, cruise missiles from shore, fast attack swarms in the shallows. The first 2 weeks of Epic Fury added a threat from the sky, but aircraft fly sorties and return to base. They do not stay. When Tripoli arrives, the equation gains a threat from the ground. Marines can appear on any island, any coastline, any allied position along the strait, and Marines stay. Defend the islands and the coastline lies open. Fortify the coastline and the islands fall. Disperse across all positions and there is not enough force at any single point to stop anything. 3 responses, 3 failures. Iran built defenses against ships and aircraft, not against Marines who arrived by helicopter onto positions that were never supposed to be contested. That variable has never existed in Iran's coastal defense equation, and Iran cannot build a counter for it in weeks. Not when its factories are rubble and its air defenses are silent. The ship they called a mistake. The well deck, they said, was essential. The dimension Iran never planned for. Tripoli is not bringing more firepower to a problem firepower already failed to solve. It is bringing something that does not appear in any Iranian defense doctrine ever written: the ground.